Hello, everybody, and welcome to Class 3 of eProperty Sites. We have an amazing class for you. Now that we covered the basics, we covered how to post to Craigslist, how to do some flyers, presentation, listing presentations, and stuff like that. Let's take your properties and get them to the first page of Google with what we call blogging, which is property blogging. And Vicky has an amazing class for us today. She's going to talk about that. She's going to talk about how to tie in YouTube, and she's going to touch a little bit on Animoto, which will also be your new best friend once you see this. It's an amazing way to interact and engage with your friends or in your sphere of people, and like during their birthdays and graduations and stuff like that. So, Vicky, so happy to have you
Uh-huh.
on board again and share with us your great wisdom and training that you've provided for us. Can't wait to hear it.
Uh, okay. It sounds great. Well, we're going to get started here. I'm going to bring over eProperty Sites,
Okay.
and we're going to use Ron Ekema, an agent, as just a test, so you guys can kind of follow what I do.
All right.
So what happens is in properties, to start property blogging, it's really quite simple with some of the tips that I've learned over months and months of doing this. Um, and I'm going to give you those tips and easy to do. However, if you ever have any questions about property blogging and you're kind of stuck, again, these get help buttons here are going to answer some of your frequently asked questions. You can actually type in blogging, property blogging, and get some answers that way. So feel free to dive a little bit further if you have any more questions that you're stuck. Of course, you can review this recording, and hopefully we'll answer them too. So where you find your property blogging is underneath your tools section. And it's at the bottom part, which is this area right here. So again, it's tools, website links, and sharing, and just click it.
Now, Vicky,
Now,
a lot of
uh-huh.
times when people hear the word blogging, and I'll let you go here in just a second, but a lot of times they think that they have to. I mean, you're going to show us how to do it right, but just to start your blog is going to be. I mean, just to do a couple little steps right here that you're going to show us is better than doing nothing because you have a better chance of being seen on Google. But then the couple steps you're going to show us on how to actually get to the front page of Google is the time that maybe your assistant should do, or you learn how to do it and then have somebody come in maybe a couple hours a week and do it for you.
Oh, absolutely. It's critical to do that. I mean, this system is one of the reasons why it's so fantastic. It's already optimized for you. It's similar to an active rain, which you can also post directly here. Um, WordPress blog, you can start posting and blogging about it too. But this is about the focus is that particular property, that 123 Anywhere Street. And yes, you can get aligned with Realtor.com, and they say that they're going to get you on, within their site. And yes, they do. But you're grouped in with hundreds of other agents, hundreds of other listings. So the focus is now your seller, and this is a really great tool to show them, and I can show you how to do that too as well, how your marketing efforts have got them first page, if not first position exposure. And that's really money generated because 94% of the people that are looking for homes go to the internet now today and will search for homes. So you need to know what kind of keywords that you could play off of to attract their attention and be in that search criteria when they put into Google, oh, I'm wanting a 3-bedroom home in a school district, or, I want to know what homes are available on this lake. So you kind of follow me a little bit on that, Scott?
Absolutely. So more or less find. I mean, it's and what you're going to show us. It's really easy to find. You blew my mind when you almost every blog you did or plug you did for a property, you found something that had to do with that city or that waterway or that lake or. I mean, it's amazing what
Uh-huh.
YouTube has to offer. So you can add content to your property that has to do with that city or that area. Or, I mean, sometimes you can find something with that road that somebody did a
Oh,
videotape on.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and YouTube, being owned by Google, obviously they like for you to, they'll promote you, a little bit higher in the ratings. I found, that's again one of my tips that you won't find in the tutorials that they offer you. But by sandwiching a video before and after your post, they like that. So they've kind of, then elevate me to a little bit higher ranking, when I use their videos. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you what is a property blog. And let's take a look at some examples of some that I've done before. For example, you can blog about a home for sale in a certain school district. And so my title of that particular blog was Home for Sale in Vicksburg. Now, I didn't get quite up there, but I did. These are, a lot of paid for clicks here, but I'm first page.
Let me just explain that really quick to those people. Like, so if you want to scroll back up just a little bit, Vicky. So
Uh-huh.
it's hard to see on this class right here, but these like lightly colored areas right at the top here, the one, two, three, four, the first four are actually paying to be there. So we're really not competing with them. What we're trying to do is show you how to get organic placement on the first page of Google, which is not paying anything and having it show up there. Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so sometimes I'm really, really lucky, and I get, like, for example, here is a four-bedroom home for sale in Novi. So Novi is like a Detroit suburb. So there's a lot of competition, that you normally would have, if it was a Chicago suburb or something of that nature, or Orange County, you would find the competition very hard, very hard to get into. Again, these are paid for clicks over
Mhm.
here and on the side. But here we are, first page, first position since February of 2012. That is huge because that means that anybody who is wanting a home for sale in Novi, if they're looking for a four-bedroom, I don't know if it would go for a three-bedroom, but let's just try it.
Perfect. Three bedroom home for sale. And what's funny is we're showing you like search criteria.
Here
Here's
you go. Yeah.
oh, it's number one.
So because
So it's really number one
number
actually.
one,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
because I use keywords in my blog, and that's what I'm going to teach you about today.
Yep.
So, like for example, I might, I happen to know, and I'm going to show you how to use your Google Toolbox to kind of learn a little bit about keywords and what is the most searched word or phrase, locally and globally, so that you can use your keywords in such a way that it overlaps other areas. So let's take a
Sweet.
look at this particular blog, and this will kind of give you an idea of what a blog is. So um, I'm a buyer, and I'm looking for a three or four bedroom home for sale in Novi.
Okay.
I'm going to put those terms, that phrase, that sentence in my Google search. And now I'm going to come up and I'm going to see, oh my gosh, here's one. What is that? Now, take a look. So, for example, if I were to say, okay, here's some in Novi that are from Zillow, and there's a Realtor.com, which site do you think that they're going to click on first, Scott?
Right. I would
Mm-hmm.
imagine that they're going to click on that one right there. I mean, the very first one.
Exactly,
Yeah, the first page
exactly.
is king and everything. Now she's covering a lot of stuff that's going to make a whole lot of sense. And why would someone search four bedroom home for sale in Novi? Because they've got to a point where they've looked at all types of homes, three bedroom, four bedroom, five bedroom, and they narrowed it down to we at least want a four bedroom home. So they start to narrow down their search. And believe it or not, three bedroom home is the number one search criteria for homes anywhere. Now they're going to start with, of course,
Absolutely.
they're going to start with Plymouth homes, Detroit homes, and stuff like that. But that search is so broad that it's eventually once they start looking at homes, they're going to narrow it down to what we're showing you right now, which is your chance to shine on the first page of Google.
Exactly. So I'll show you one other one that I'm so surprised that has gotten there and has been there this long. Here's one that I did for an agent. It's a three-bedroom home for sale in Detroit. Did this, back in April 2012. This agent is setting on a gold mine right now. So that means that Detroit is kind of like a metropolitan area, so we're talking huge SEO value here. It's very broad. It'd be like three-bedroom home for sale in Chicago. Every time someone searches on it, and you'll see that it could be 800,000 searches a month, and that's why he's leaving it alone. I recommended him,
Right.
even though the home sold, just leave it up there because he has an opportunity now to continue to attract buyers because they're going to make a phone call to him.
Right.
Um, and so it's just when you find something that works and it works there, leave it up there for a while. It's not going to hurt anything. He can tell them, oh, we just sold it, but I have other homes. Let's take a look. Can I send you stuff? That conversation that you try to engage with. So let's click on his property blog,
Okay.
and you'll see that I've used keywords in such a way at the top where I have, I've underlined it, I've italicized, I've bolded it. I will tell you now, my little tips are 3 of my keyword sentences. So whatever my blog title is, I use that in the actual post. And then I have 2 link backs. I'm going to show you how to do those, but that's really the formula that I use. And I use 2 videos from YouTube sandwiched between my blog. So you
Okay.
following me here? Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So like what you're doing, so you're giving Google content that they're going to see as relevant to what you're posting is what you're doing here.
Correct. So I make sure that all of my YouTube videos are has to do with that. Has maybe in the name, Novi or Michigan, something to do with relevant content to the area and something that is also current. So I don't want something that's 4 years old, 2009, because it doesn't have as great of a rating
Right.
attached or aligned with my blog. So
Correct.
this is Tony, and these are his widgets. That is a scrolling widget of all of his listings, that he currently has in here. So if they don't like this particular property, they can go over to the blog, and this is automatically generated for you, and click on one of his other listings.
Perfect.
So like here he has one on Kego Harbor. It's a 3-bedroom. Let's just see if that is still there. So I go to Google. I'm a person that is looking for a 3-bedroom home for sale in Kego Harbor. Here, I have it up. First page, first position, still.
Nice. Nice. And how
Yeah.
long ago was
So
that? How long ago was
April
that?
11th. Yeah, last year,
Jeez. Okay.
2012 in April.
So what that tells me is nobody is doing this stuff.
And if an agent blogged on every single property, he would
Right.
own, especially
Imagine.
if they like service in a certain area, that's their farm area. So if he was like specialized in Kego Harbor and he has several listings, and he like basically owned that first page at Google.
Very nice.
You imagine what happens. So kind of think about it this way. You're driving traffic to your site, yes. This is your pre-listing part of it too, because you're able to put out there something that buyers will see information about you and then log into it. I don't know, Scott, do you hear there's an echo, on my end? I don't know if you have it on your end.
I don't hear an echo. No, I don't hear anything. Sounds great. Do
Okay,
you?
because I'm repeating myself twice.
Oh, you
I
are?
can keep going. Yeah, but that's
Okay.
okay. I just want to let you know.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that's kind of. Is there a way to get that extra echo off by chance?
I don't. I'm not hearing. The only thing I would try to do is if you wanted to, you could hang up and call back. You want to hang up and call back in and try that?
Um, yeah, let me try that because that's
Okay.
going to be hard for me to concentrate.
Okay.
All right, I'll be with you guys in just a second.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so just give us just 1 minute, and we'll just sorry about the technical difficulty. We'll get right back to you, and we'll it'll just take her a second to hang up and call back in. So give us just 1 minute. But what she's talking about here is she's going to be sharing you. She's going to share with you a little secret site that we have. of how to find keywords like 3 bedroom home for sale in Kegel Harbor, and why these are keywords, and then how to come up with them on a regular basis. The site's going to give you what people actually search for, which is a really cool thing. It's going to allow you to go in every time you do a blog post and go, okay, what keywords should I use for the title? What keyword should I put in inside of the actual blog post? And it's going to make it real easy on you. You're not going to have to guess on this. It'll actually show you what people in your area for those particular areas are going to search for.
Right, and so this is the keyword toolbox. I would get really comfortable with using this. I don't use it too much anymore, but in the very beginning I did, and all you do is just click on it.
The echo, Vicky?
Yeah, a little bit, but
Okay.
that's okay. I'll just go with it. So here's where I would put in a phrase, whatever you're thinking that your buyer or whatever would put in. So, for example, let's put in 6 bedroom home for sale. And then obviously you want to work on Google. The actual category could be real estate, or you can hit all. I'll give you a very broad kind of plan to it. And of course you have to do this.
Words there.
Because
That's
you're
actually a
not a
pretty easy one. Yeah.
computer. Yeah. So you can see that it's thinking right now. And so we're going to have actual global searches and monthly searches. So this right here is going to tell you, all the different, how many people search for different words. So, and it just goes on and on and on. So it is something that you'll get to know, feel what's really good. I have found out that 3 bedroom home is the number one searched keyword over 2 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 5, or 1. Home for sale is the number one keyword search over house for sale, condo for sale, vacant land for sale, and then of course your area. So if you can combine the three of them together, then you're getting pretty broad, and it's really and again, this is something that you have to, play with and get good at, and then you'll see your efforts will pay off, and you'll
No
get to
question.
that first page of Google.
And I think what it
So,
really is consistency. I mean, it's like just because here's the thing: when you put a blog post out there, it's out there for the world to see, and you may get 2 views today and 1 view tomorrow, but you're putting something out there that's continuing to build your brand, and that's the most important part. If you never
right.
put anything out there about what you do or who you are, then nobody ever has a chance to see it, and that's the important part about doing the blogging of some sort. So, and if you're already a blogger, this is just going to help you
Mhm.
out even more because this is going to help you to one rank for your homes. Which think about this: if you were to walk into a seller and show them within 2 days or we have these show up within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, and if it doesn't show up within 24, if I don't see it moving from page 4 or page 10 to page 4 to page 2,
Yeah,
I go in and I do another blog. So I'm constantly, looking every day, where is it at in my rating scale until I get it right.
right.
Um, so I do 2 blogs. I'm going to show you guys. If one doesn't work, I do another one. So you'll see 2 different scenarios, but the formula stays the same. Okay. Um, so for example, if if this was your seller and I did this blog for him, I would use what we learned in our last class, Gene. I'd come over here, I'd capture this, and I'm going to capture the image. I would take my arrow and I would point to my search term, and then I would probably say something like, just wanted you to know, due to my marketing efforts, you are now first page, first position of Google. I mean, that is just huge.
Huge,
So,
massively huge.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
basically extremely huge. And then I would embed it and send it to them in an email. Then I would take and save it, maybe upload it to my Facebook page, showing other people how, check out my blog. It's first page, first position of Google for, this home, whatever you want to say. But
Right.
you're promoting, this is really People pay big money
Big
to
money.
get this, and you're doing it organically. You're doing it, free, just by having a little bit of skill
That's
that we
right.
teach
And
you here.
not only that, what this is going to do for you is it should get you more hits on the hitch report that we covered yesterday, or excuse me, yesterday, the
Absolutely.
last class, class
Yep.
two, we covered the hitch report. If you haven't watched class one or class two, this might be a little advanced for you. So I would recommend going back to class one or class two. So just get with your loan professional if you don't have that, but it should be right here in the same category as this class three is. So this is a little more advanced
Yeah.
for you. It's after you get up and running with the e-property site system. This is when you take it to the next level.
Right. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Class one, there's a certain reason why we do class one, class two, class three, four, and five. You have to understand and do the homework and, get comfortable and confident within the system, because you can't move too far advanced until you understand the foundation. It's like building a house.
Correct.
You have to have that foundation before you can put any other, things on top of it.
Right.
So that's the reason why you have to learn class one, two, and before you go to class three.
Right.
So this is in the tools section again. We can go back out to properties, and let me just kind of go back. And so say, for example, I want to do a blog on, a little bit more expensive property forums. Okay, so say I want to do a blog on Sheridan. So I'm going to go down to tools. I'm going to come down to website links and sharing. And before I go into the blog right away and schedule that or start that, I wanted to show you this is a standalone MLS compliant link. You can just copy and paste this into your MLS, so you'll never have to pay for a virtual tour again. So, and this is the most common used link. So just wanted to let you know that. That's where you would find that information. Okay, so now we go down to post your blog, PLOG, property blog.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And this is my blog. So obviously this is a 5-unit, commercial property that's for sale. I'm going to go back out. I'm going to show you something because maybe I don't like that color. So I can click reload here. But I find sometimes that it's easier for me to go back out and start again. So I'm going to go back to properties.
I didn't know you could change the color. I'm learning
Yeah,
something
you
right
can.
now.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't remember which one it was, but I think it was this one. Maybe I'm wrong. So I'm going to go to website links or tools. I'm going to come back down here, and I'm going to post my blog. I'm going to click it. It's the same color, but I went to a different property. That's why.
Okay.
So if I wanted to do that, sometimes you can go up here and refresh it. There it changes.
There we
Now
go.
it's gray.
There we
Okay.
go.
So say, okay, now I like that. I like that quite a bit.
Okay.
So right now my blog has already defaulted to a title. It says 5-bedroom home for sale in Three Rivers.
Okay.
Okay. So do I like that? Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and do it. So I'm going to come over to the very beginning of my blog, and I'm going to give myself the space to work with, right? So then I need to use a minimum. This is very crucial, a minimum of 200 words. So, and the reason why I have to make my words not spammy. Google has lots of spiders out there, and that's all they do, and they want to look for something that is spammy. So if I just went in here and wrote 5-bedroom home for sale in Three Rivers 3 times and did 2 link backs, they would think I'm a computer. So they would block me, and that's called black hats. And what I want is white hats. I want to be, I want to have my posts be something like, that Google will think that I'm a human talking to another human, and I'm using my words in a way that is not one on top of another. Kind of follow me a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick, and I don't know, Scott, if you want to talk a little bit while I'm posting right here,
Okay.
and then they can just
Absolutely.
kind of follow me around.
Yep. So now, Vicky, real quick question here. Now, do you not put anything in for the keyword over where it says keyword up there?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
You can try it. I haven't found that it made a difference one way or the other.
Okay.
I do tell you that I want to try and keep my ratios to be in the high fives and sixes.
Okay.
So I don't. If I'm seeing my ratios, versus my keyword count versus my word count versus keyword count, I try will add or delete, to keep my ratios 590 to 620.
Okay.
So that's just something that I happen to look for.
Okay.
Um, so so I
So
did that.
Okay, so
Mhm.
what she's doing here is she's putting in some information that has to do with the area. And a lot of times when you're getting used to doing stuff like this, you could, one, use your description that you have in MLS. One, you could go search for different content that has to do with your specific area. Like I would search, living in Three Rivers, or Three Rivers living, or I mean, anything you could think of that would have to do with Three Rivers that might give you some content to work with. So right now she's looking at the description, which the description automatically populates underneath the actual clickable blog post there.
Mhm.
Now, are you just now, as far as looking down at the description, are you looking at kind of what the house has to offer, and then kind of
Yeah, and then
switching it
because
up a little bit?
I've never seen the house. This is something that so
Sure,
I'm not the agent, so I don't know what
sure,
it's like.
sure.
Um, and I think it said something about French doors.
Yep, French
Yeah,
doors,
private
whirlpool,
French doors.
jacuzzi. Yep. Now, would it not do you any good to just copy the description and put it up front, or you want to make it different?
No, yeah, I want to make it different. I don't want
Okay.
them to think that's spam.
That's fine.
So
Right,
it's
right.
copy
Google looks at
paste,
it as
that kind of.
duplicate content. Right. Okay.
Yeah, right. So I need to kind of try and fool Google that
Okay.
I'm not a computer generating it.
Got it. Got it. Got it. And that's a big deal too, because man, I tell you, Google, if they feel that you're putting content in there that's copied from somewhere else, or like say you take somebody else's blog post and you make it your blog post, they can see that stuff. And I mean, they're just brilliant people that have wrote that program. Of course, nobody knows really what it is. We can only do the best that we can from test, trial, and error. But what Vicky's doing here is creating some content that is relevant to keyword searches, to the home, to Three Rivers, to anything that has to do with maybe the 5 bedroom home. Maybe it has to do with the features of the home. Maybe you have an indoor pool or indoor basketball court or indoor something that's cool, or maybe a fireplace that's unique that goes from it has 18-foot ceilings and the brick goes all the way up to the top, or anything like that that would be unique, would be a reason for someone to, one, click on the link. And that's the really goal, is to, one, get exposure, two, have them so they click on the link to view more, and then maybe request a showing type thing. Completely finished for y'all for the so from start to finish, Vicky. Like if you were to do this, and once you're good at it, what would you think? 10 minutes, 15 minutes per property to plug it?
Yeah. Again, had I known all this information, my mind wouldn't be thinking about what I
Right,
was
right,
doing
right,
and
right,
making
right,
changes.
right.
Um, but yeah, 15 minutes max. Yeah.
Okay. And that's I never noticed the word count and keyword count. That's pretty cool. So you want to stay above 5? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I don't want to get below 580.
Okay.
I love the fact that right now I'm at 620. That's telling me right now I'm going to make first page of Google.
Okay.
So that's just my little that's another little trick that I learned from doing this.
Okay.
So I want to keep my ratios there.
So once you get there, would you just leave? Okay, so it's going to continue to. Now, is it looking at the words that you're using and the stuff
Uh-huh.
that plays
It's
out and
using
stuff
my
like
so far I have 318 words.
that? Okay.
And my keyword count is my ratios are really good.
Okay.
So okay, so now I am done basically with my post.
Okay.
And I've done it in a way that is different than what's down below for the comments. So hopefully Google is not going to see that. And it's just talking to your girlfriend, or talking to a buyer on the house, and getting them excited about the property. That's all that this really is. Okay.
Here's a good idea, and I don't know if anybody's ever tried this, but for me, I'm not a great writer, but I can talk about a home all day long. So what you
Mhm.
could do is you could talk about the home, record yourself, and then have somebody transcribe that like a writer, and literally have it and not do any work, copy and paste what you just said because someone transcribed it for you. And there's a ton of transcribers out there. That would be another great way to do this, especially to come up with your
Right.
description. So just a
Right.
thought or an idea there to help you blog.
You bet. So now I'm going to look for my link backs, right? So I have three of my sentences in there, but now I want to do my link backs. So I'm just going to go to Google and I'm going to Google Three Rivers, Michigan. And so a good thing to link back are obviously schools, the city website, um, you know, information about the city in some way. It could be the Chamber of Commerce is a great place, to link back stuff to. So what I have right here is obviously I really want to do the schools because I know that the schools there are pretty good. So I want to highlight those, right? And I also know that a time to reflect for the actual city website is good. So I'm going to take this URL, okay, and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it into my blog.
So just for those people that are new to blogging, this is called linkbacks. So what she's doing here, and Google loves linkbacks, and I'll be curious to see if the word count goes up or down with a link back to a specific website. Six, staying pretty high there, Vicky. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that URL that I copied to my site, right? And I'm going to do no more than 2 link backs for every 3 sentences. Now, if I do a blog post that is, say 2,000 words, obviously I could add some more my link backs, to my sentences. But if I stay in that 200 to say no more than, 400-ish, which is a normal blog, um, I use my 3 keywords and my 2 link backs. How I do that now is it says please click here, right? So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to go up to this little insert, edit,
Hyperlink.
link
Yep.
here,
Yep.
hyperlink. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to paste my URL, hit OK, and now you'll see that it's linked there, correct?
Okay. Cool. Perfect.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Yeah, and it didn't
Yeah,
hurt
so
your
now
ranking.
I'm,
No, and guys, I
yeah.
mean, and the cool part about us recording these is like, if you're listening to this live, what's one thing, but if you're actually listening to this as a recording, you can stop what Vicky's doing, do and practice it, and then go back and play it some more. So you don't have to like sit here and listen to the whole thing. What I usually do is I listen and do it at the same time, open up two separate windows, and that works really well
Mhm.
for me.
Right. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to copy the URL for the Three River School. And you can see that if I went to something and you can test it and make sure that is that the right link? Yeah, it is the right link. So it brings me up to that page. So now I'm going to go back to my blog post and I'm going to add um, Three Rivers Schools. School information is available here. So again, I'm going to highlight. Actually, this time I'm going to highlight the whole thing because I want to highlight Three Rivers schools. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my hyperlink, hit paste, hit copy, and then and here it gives me an opportunity to think, okay, it's Three Rivers, Michigan. School information is available here. So now my post is basically done, almost. So now I need to kind of put the polish on it. So what I'm going to do, and this is where I talked about I do 2 different ways. If one way doesn't work, then the next day I go back and do the second way. So I'm going to show you both of those ways right now, okay? So the first way is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to bold, italicize, and underline all of my keywords. So this is a keyword, 1, 2, 3. This is a keyword, 1, 2, 3. This is a keyword, 1, 2, 3. And this is a keyword, 1, 2, 3. In addition to that, Three Rivers, see, this is a
41
keyword,
is going up. Yep. Okay. Three Rivers, Michigan.
1, 2, 3. This is a keyword, 1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
And I just want to make sure what other keywords I have, if I have anything else in there. No, that's it. Okay. So now I'm going to hit save.
Okay.
You can see it's in draft mode. I haven't launched it yet. And so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit it because I'm not done with it. So I go back to my edit button. And then because I added myself some room in the very beginning, remember, I'm going to remove that space. So I'm going to make it try and look really nice and pretty. So I just delete those lines. And so after I'm done with my post, and I see that this way did not get me where I want it to be in the rating, I come back and I do something different. So, but let me tell you what, you don't mess with a blog that you've done. Leave it alone. Just do a new blog. Because once Google caches it, once it's on, anytime that you go in to make any changes to that blog, besides deleting it, it stops, that I have found, it stops moving fast. It might take you months then to do it because they're having to go back in and refigure because they've already cached exactly what you said. So just do a new blog. It takes, again, 10 minutes. So you have 2 blogs out there. That's great, because you can have multiple blogs. In fact, I have agents that may say, for example, have a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom house in Jenison, but it's also on Cedar Lake, but it's also Hudsonville Schools, and it's in Talmadge Township. Or so I could do 4 blogs for that one property because all of those buyers are one of those buyers are going to want Talmadge Township. One is going to want to see what's on Cedar Lake. One is going to want Jenison Schools or Hudsonville Schools. So think about that, and the more blogs you have out there about that particular property, the more chances that, when a keyword search happens, you're going to get, super focused with that particular target buyer.
Yeah, now
So,
here's the cool thing about this is you can do more than one blog post for, and I know you already said this, but I want to make sure that everybody heard that. You can do more than one blog post for each property. You could have 2 or 3 if you wanted to, as long as you're coming up with different content. You're coming up with maybe have two different people write this first description here so that it's different. Have your assistant do it, have maybe one of your partners do it. But I mean, guys, the point is getting yourself out there and owning the first page of Google. And if you do this, if you have 50 listings over the time of a year and you have 50 blog posts, those blog posts don't go away. You're building your brand on Google, you're building your brand on YouTube, which we showed you already, and we're going to show you more of. And there's just so many different ways to grow your business and let people know who you are and what you do for a living by being out there and letting the world know that you have stuff for sale. So it's really, really powerful way. And these are just like the base. I mean, these are this training that she just gave you on these keyword searches and underlining and 1, 2, 3, which is 1, 2, 3, the bold, the italic, and underline. Those are like ninja tricks that a lot of people don't ever hear about or know about that help you get to the first page of Google. And I'll be curious to see, Vicky, that thing went to like 1468. Is that right? Like the word count?
no. Um, it went, yeah, it changes a little bit, but
Way up.
because
Okay.
I saved it, yeah, when I saved it, it stops, and
Hmm.
it gives me another figure. But
I
I only
see.
look at that one figure when
Okay.
I'm actually putting the blog together.
Okay. That's pretty. I
So
didn't even know that was
so
there.
yeah, so for now, if I find that when I launch this, pretend as if it was done and I launched it yesterday, and
Mhm.
I don't see it moving. Now I'm going to do a new blog, and I'm going to go in and do everything that I said, maybe change things around. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and do the whole thing.
Okay.
Bold, italicize, and lock it. I have to do it again. Okay, that's all I do.
That's it.
So, and
That's all
now,
you
yeah,
do.
so
Oh
now
boy.
I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to go back and edit it because now I'm not done. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, so in YouTube, I'm going to first pick up everything I can find about Three Rivers, Michigan. And also, what I want to say to you guys is a couple little tricks. You try and keep your videos around no more than 2 minutes if possible. If you find one that you really, really like and want to do, I can show you where you can have it start in the middle, and so that the only that's left is 2 minutes. But I really recommend that you watch every single video because you never know what is going to be said in conversation or at the very end. And I kind of want to kind of show you just a little bit. So, for example, here's one that's only, this is not one that I would recommend doing because it obviously says police harassment.
Right,
But
right.
okay, so I can pretty much guarantee that, anything to do with schools or news, they're not going to have, content that might be offending
Yeah,
to either the seller or to your buyers.
yeah.
But I still want to listen to it because I have done these before. So this is the Three Rivers Michigan cheerleaders. I have done this where a parent is, making this video and posting it, and I hear the word, a bad word,
Okay. All
by
right.
someone in the audience, like "go" or whatever.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Um, so I don't.
Another idea, Vicky, would be to if if you're into videos, do your own video on different parts of the cities that you work with. I mean, if you're
Oh yeah.
if it was me, I would go to Three Rivers and find what the biggest maybe what the biggest thing is to do with Three Rivers. What's the coolest place there? Maybe where the library is. Maybe where the schools are. I mean, there's a bunch of different things you could do, and then you would have all these video archives of videos you could use inside your blog post, and you wouldn't have to look for anything.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I don't want to. This is the one. This is the time. This is a time vampire. I just wanted to let you know this is where it's going to take you longer than doing the blog post is to watch the videos. Um, so we're almost to the end here, but I just wanted to, before I post this for Ron, I want to make sure that there's nothing negative. Ideally, I would try and search for something that's more relevant content, meaning 2012, 2011,
Right.
max. This is a 2009 video, but just to save time, I'm going to go ahead and go through it. So I've been listening kind of on my own to see if I hear anything in the audience that might be offensive.
Okay.
So far, I have not. So what happens is I'm going to hit the share button, and then I'm going to embed it. I'm going to hit the embed button. Now, if this video is like, say, 10 minutes long, here you see it's 2 minutes long, I could start this video at 8 minutes and 57 seconds, and that's where I would enter that information here.
Okay.
So this is where I wanted you guys to get to also. At the end of a video, there's always things that come up that you have no control over. However, I do like to, when I go into my share button, let me go back and refresh this again. So if I wanted to share this.
Yeah, so real quick, stop right there real quick because I want people to see this real quick because this is important. So like when you're on a video, like she clicked the share, and I don't know why YouTube made it almost like they're harder to see, but it's right there where she clicked share, and then you see the link right there, and then if you see the embed code right next to see, I don't know why they almost grayed those out like you can't see them, but the embed code I think is what you're looking for, and that's going to allow you to embed that into your blog post.
Exactly, yeah. So this is a URL, and
Right.
obviously you can post this URL anywhere, but
Sure.
what I'm looking for is the HTML code, which is this right here. And so when I click that, I want to make sure that, see, I don't want this to come up on the side, so I don't want them to show suggested videos when this video is finished.
Good point. Yeah,
So,
thanks for pointing that out.
so
Make sure
I
you
want to make
list
sure you
that.
guys know that.
Yeah.
And then make sure that you listen to your videos and make sure that, they are appropriate, And what I'm looking for is something in a video that may have a keyword or information in it somewhere, location, about the blog that I'm making the post on. So say, for example, this is one that I like, and I listen to it. I'm going to copy it, right? So now I'm going to go to my blog post. And what I'm going to do is I am going to hit source. Do you see that over here on the side?
Absolutely.
So now I hit source, and this is my HTML on my blog. So what I want to do is I want to get to the very end of where I am done posting, and that was right here. Because the last thing I posted was about the
Three
Three
Rivers
Rivers
Michigan School.
Michigan
Yep. And then
School
you had a
is
hyperlink.
available
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Right.
Click
So
here.
I'm going to go and put my cursor right there. And then I'm going to give myself a couple spaces.
And just so you guys know that ampersand and then NBSP is a space. That is an HTML code for a space. So just so you know, so you can look for that and
Yeah.
know that she had a space there that then went into the listing.
Right. And now I hit paste because I want to paste that HTML embed link right here. And it's always iframe to iframe. Just wanted to kind of let you know that. Now I'm going to hit save. It brings me back out. I'm going to go back into edit, and right here it is.
Awesome.
However, I want a space in between it, so I'm going to go to my end, and I'm just going to hit enter. I want it to be symmetrical, so I'm going to go to the end of the video, and I'm going to bring it into the middle. So you'll see I
Pretty.
have video
Makes it
1
pretty.
done. Yeah.
Awesome.
So now I like to sandwich another video at the end of my post. How I'm going to do that is basically the same thing. I'm going to go back to YouTube. I'm going to search for something again in Three Rivers. I've done this one before, so I know that this one is good.
That's a
So
great one.
even though it's
Yeah.
even though it's 4 minutes and 23 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and put it in there.
Okay. Now, here's the
Okay.
you're probably asking yourself, and you're probably asking yourself, why would you put video in with a home? And here's the thing: people have children that are maybe cheerleaders. People might like to go down a river in a kayak or a canoe or whatever this guy's doing right here. You just never know. So if you let them know that, hey, just so you know, if you're buying this house in Three Rivers, these are some of the places you can go to that are adventurous, that part of schools. I mean, all that different stuff. I mean, it relates to people. People can relate to that. So I just want to let you know. And also, Google likes it. So it's like, okay, you're putting relevant content that has to do with other relevant content, and it's all the same. So I'm going to rank that higher than I would. And Google, just so you know, owns YouTube, and they rank videos higher than they do content. So just so you know, putting them both together makes for a win-win. This looks like a lot of
Right.
fun, actually.
So
I think I might
yeah.
go check
So
that
this is
out.
yeah. So this is a 4-minute video. I'm going to start it at the 2-minute mark.
Okay.
Okay. I happen to have know it, so and pretend as if you have listened to the whole thing. So now I'm going to embed it.
Okay.
I clicked off to make sure my last time, and it always does it for me. But make sure that's not clicked because I don't want to show suggested videos. But I'm going to copy, and now I'm going to go back to my blog post, and I'm going to go to source again. But this time I'm going to go to the very end of my post. Give myself a couple extra lines and hit paste. Hit save, edit, and come back down to the bottom, and there it is.
Sweet.
So now I need a space between the two, so I'm going to go to the very end of my post and give myself, and hit enter and give myself a space. I'm going to go to the very end here again, and I want it centered, so I want it symmetrical. I'm going to hit save. Now remember, eyeballs, you can view anything, and this is what it looks like. So here is Ron Ekame's team blog. This is the information. It's still in draft mode because I haven't launched it yet. And here's his blog. You know, here are all of his scrolling widgets of all of his listings that they have. So maybe someone can click on another listing of his homes. So yeah, that's simple. Now I'm going to launch it, and the only thing I have to do is click the button.
Awesome.
I click the button, and now you'll see that it's checked and it's launched. So in 48 hours, you guys check it, see if it's there, and if it's not there, go in and do another one the other way I showed you. So that's how how great and how easy it is to get first page, first position exposure.
Awesome. So let's because we just gave you a lot, we want you to be able to focus in on this because I think personally, and Vicky would agree with me here. I think that this is a very important piece to this whole. I mean, guys, this system under one login and password has every single thing you can imagine: flyers, open house sheets, text codes, QR codes. Now we just showed you inside the system how to do a proper blog post that's going to get you more exposure. So we showed you Craigslist last class. I mean, can you guys start to see the power behind one system? And if you learn it, incorporate it, and engage in this stuff, how it can change your life like drastically. I mean, I can't even imagine how many more deals you can get per month just spending 15 minutes a day doing a blog post a day. I mean, if you just did that and nothing else, you're going to get more exposure. Your sellers are going to be happier. There's just all kinds of really good stuff. So, Vicky, let's give them let's move some of the stuff we're going to do in class 3. We'll move it to like class 6 or 7, and
Yeah.
just because this is an amazing blogging class that I think that people really take advantage of. So let's end
Yes.
class number 3 right here, and
Okay. Sounds great.
and then what we'll do is we'll kind of rearrange the other stuff we're going to show you with Animoto, because I think Animoto, Vicky, would be a great class in itself, and I think that would be, maybe
Yes.
we'll just make it a 15-minute or 30-minute class down the road. But guys, we're going to end class 3 right here with blogging. We want you to take advantage of the blogging class. So, like I said, when you're watching this video, just listen to a little bit of it and stop it. Go over to your own login and password and do the same exact thing, and just get your hands wet. You're not going to break anything, like we've said before. There's nothing that you're not going to hurt anything. And if you ever have any questions, just make sure and get with the loan professional that sent you here. And of course, join us on our private Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/agent mastermind. And we're more than happy to answer any questions. And what you're going to probably get is a 1 or 2 minute answer by video of us showing you how to do stuff like this. Okay? Vicky,
Okay. Great.
amazing as always.
Yes.
I appreciate your hard work and time and patience.
You're welcome.
And guys, we're looking forward to seeing you on class number 4. We're going to get more advanced as we go along. So please do class 1, class 2, and class 3 in that order if you can. I know I'm like myself. I'd like to jump right to class, whatever the last class is. But it's going to kind of go, what the heck are we talking about here if you don't do class number 1 and class number 2. So I appreciate everybody. Vicky, as always, I appreciate you. And we will see you on class number 4. Have a great day.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.